This time on the Austin Healey channel, I spend the week under the dashboard. So one of the weird things I haven't been able to find are these brackets that go on the back of the small instruments. I don't know why, but the last two places I placed orders, but they didn't sell them separately. Maybe they come with the instruments, so I made my own. I had this one from the Sprite. For some reason I had painted it and, or sandblasted it and painted it, but when the light goes in here, it needs to make a contact, and then these need to make contact with the dash to complete the electric circuit. So painting it's not a good way to go. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. They look remarkably like the original one. There's some differences, but that's all right. But to finish it, if I just left it like this, it's going to rust. If I paint it, the electricity doesn't flow. So what are we going to do? We're going to plate it. We get the plating stuff out again. So shiny. Yeah, happy with that. So I'm missing a bracket. The bracket goes from here to the dashboard to prevent the dashboard from wiggling so much. It also holds the choke cable on it. There's a separate little bracket that hangs off of this bracket that holds the choke cable. So anyway, let's start by making this bracket and see where that gets us. So we're gonna make this out of just some simple bar stock. And it's basically an L shape. So we're gonna start by making the bottom of the L, a little leg. And I've marked how long we want that leg to be. And we're gonna square it up in the vise, so we get a nice straight bend. And we're gonna push it over. Maybe some percussion will help it as well. Alright, now let's go measure the rest of it. So the steering wheel is getting in the way of this being in the exact position, but we can tell it's going to be a little shy around here. Something like that. We'll start there and adjust it after we can get it in that exact position. One step closer. So with this in better in its place, you can see that, well, I hope you can see, in the back it's not quite a 90 degree, so we need to squish it a little bit more. There. Now we can put that in place, and we can tell that down here it needs to get a bend to it. So we're going to mark it on the back where that bend needs to happen. Let's see how close we are. Not bad. See if it'll fit over. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Now, one of the things we can do to make this brace sexy is to use the original holes, these back here. So how do we get that spacing? Well, I'm glad you asked. We're gonna take a piece of tape, put it over the holes. And then with our dirty finger, dirty up our finger a bit, get some dust on there. Just rub over it and it marks the holes. And then apply the tape, so that one matches the mark you made, and we have the exact spacing for the other one. Then we go center punch it and drill. Put it in place before we mark where the front's gonna go. Next, we can drill a hole through the aluminum that will mark the spot on the steel above it, and then take it off and drill the steel. There we go. That's the brace, and it really stiffens up the dashboard. So how do we make it sexy, and why am I using that word? That's kind of creepy. Okay, so I took a class at Yale School of Drama that was physics of stage machinery, and we talked about, we figured out all the horsepower you need to move a stage and lift stuff and create machines for the stage. And one of the things the professor said that really stuck with me is that just having it function isn't enough. You need to make it sexy. You need to make it sexy so that it's a reflection on you, on your ability to create things, to make it look good. What does that mean? It means that the corners are rounded and soft. See, I've rounded the edges here. I've gone through and filed off the burr that's stuck on there. Eventually it'll be painted. That's a big step to make things sexy. In the theater, it's usually flat black for anything that you want to be invisible. But it's really taking care of the details after you get the function. So the function is to get the brace there and get it to work. The making it sexy is the next step. The next step is making it look good. As good as a brace can look. So with that in place, I need to decide where the choke cable's gonna go and how it's gonna work. Well, this is what I've come up with. Well, I didn't come up with it, I found it in a picture. Though I don't know if it's correct or not. So, I think I'm gonna do some more research on it. It's surprisingly hard to find pictures of this. I did some more research and did things different. This is closer to the picture I found on the Detail Enthusiast website. It comes off here, turns 90 degrees, and the choke cable mounts in there. This looks more professional, I guess. The other one just didn't look right. So this looks better. Looks more like what I would expect to find. The other one looked more like a homemade solution. So that's what we're going with. Last time I mentioned that I was having a problem with this box. When I was running the power off the battery charger, it wouldn't trigger the turn signals. So I had another one and I thought I'd play with it. I did some research. There's a good video on Moss Motors YouTube channel that talks about how exactly this works and why they went with this instead of just another light. But that's another story. But I found out why it's making that buzzing sound, so I thought I'd share it with you because it was unexpected, I guess. So these are two magnetic relays, and depending on if you're turning right or left, they engage, and it changes things up here that runs the electricity in different places. The thing is, when you turn the turn signal, it should give it power and pull this down. When I do that with a battery charger, though, it sounds like a doorbell. And this is exactly the same sound that I was getting on the car running the power off the battery charger. So let's try it with a battery. So we're going to ground one side and then give it some power. No buzzing, just pulls down and stops, like it should. Isn't that great? Oh, I know, you're so excited. At least I am, because I didn't want to have to take this out. Now, there still could be a problem. These contacts in here get dirty over time and might not work correctly, but the buzzing thing was really bothering me. So hopefully when I put power, real battery power, onto the car, it just works and the lights start working. Actually, I'm going to do that now. No, it's not a giant baked potato. It's a car cover. Why? Because it's finally a car, not just a pile of parts. If you want to come along on the ride as we complete this project, click the subscribe button. If you want YouTube to tell you every time there's a new video, click the alarm bell. Thanks for watching, and your support is very much appreciated.